Hi, cuties. I'm Lanikia, and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is General Hospital Edition. Today is Wednesday, June the 29th, 2022. All right, guys, let's get right into it. I'm so sleepy. Oh my gosh. All right, let's get right into this. We see. Let's start with Drew and Carly. So she says, "What happened at the meeting or whatever?" Because Valentine is looking all perky and stuff, and so he tells her what happened. That Ned didn't side with them and Valentine took his kept his CEO position. She said, so Ned sided against the family and all of that. And he was like, he said, it's our fault though, because we just assumed Ned was going to side with the Quartermains, but we really never talked to him and got a concrete answer from him. And that's what I've been saying too. Like y'all, this is y'all fault that y'all didn't know Ned was gonna side with Valentine. Because if y'all had really been listening to him and everything, then you would have known he had y'all did know he had major concerns about what his role in the company would be. And so Carla was like, so he was selfish about it or whatever. And I mean, if that's how you want to see it, that's how people are going to see it. I personally don't see Ned as being selfish. I see him as doing what he needed to do for himself. And everybody's like, oh, so he voted for his ego instead of with the family. That's been happening with the Quartermains forever. Y'all need to stop. But anyways, um, Carly says my broker has been trying to call me or whatever. And he says, "Oh, Carly, I don't know. I'm sorry. He didn't say it like that. Like, oh well, it's gonna." But he was just like, "Carly, I'm not gonna let you lose your house." And she said, "My house." He said, "Yeah, that's what you put up, right?" And she said, "No, I sold my half of the Metro Court." He said, "What?" And so he said, "Carly, we were gonna raise the money and stuff. So I'm not gonna hold you long on this." Reggie comes over. Reggie is her broker. Okay, Mama. Reggie is her broker, and he comes over, right, and he tells her Stillwater is they're exploring their options. He said they don't have to give you the 30 days. If they feel like you can't pay them back, they don't have to give you the 30 days. And he said, and you can't pay them back. So they're exploring their options to see who else will buy the Metro Court. And she was like, oh my God, I'm going to lose the Metro Court. And it was like, we could raise money. And he said, you couldn't raise it in time. If they find a buyer before you can raise the money or whatever, they have the right to sell. And so she's just like, oh my gosh, because Carly making them impulsive decisions as usual, and it's backfiring on her. Girl, you better go on over there to Sonny and tell him help you get this money. You didn't get anything in the divorce. You better go on over there and get that money. I think y'all should have asked her what she put up, but Carly been running around here thinking she was a rich woman, and baby, she was not. She was spending money that she did not have. All right, so then we go to okay, Mama, Felicia and Anna. So Felicia and Anna are sitting there talking. They're catching up about Felicia. Anna said, Felicia, you told me and told Ryan. You told me the story of telling Ryan off 3 times. She was like, oh, my bad. I guess I'm still excited about it and feeling good about it. And she said, what's going on with you and Valentine? And so Victor comes up. He said, I heard my son's name. And so Valentine's outside because they're at Kelly. So Valentine sees this and he comes in and he says, because he's supposed to be having a meeting with Victor. And Valentine gonna invite himself to sit down. And they said, Valentine, no, you don't. You can't invite yourself to just sit down or whatever. And he said, well, I'm just saying. I want to get to know these. I want to enjoy the company of these ladies and all that too. But then he leaves because they made it clear we don't want to eat with you or whatever. But he tells Valentine to stay. That's Victor, not Valentine. I'm sorry if I've been saying that wrong. But Victor tells Valentine to stay, and he'll meet him up later. And so Valentine stays, and he and Anna talk because Felicia gets up and gets some more coffee, and he wants another date with her, but he got a lot going on, and so as he's talking, Felicia comes back, and as he's talking to them, he's telling Anna, "What are you doing this week?" And before she could even answer, he get a message on his phone, and he's like, I'm sorry, hold that thought, I gotta go." And so he gets up and leaves, and Anna and Felicia was like, well, that was abrupt. And Anna said he did the same, he got a text message whenever we were on our date or whatever. So Anna's saying that she thinks because Felicia told Anna he really likes you. I could tell he really likes you or whatever. But Anna says whatever's going on with him is more than just ELQ. He like something's going on with him, and I think it has to do with Victor. And she says I have to think about being with Valentine because Victor would be a part of that because that's his daddy and everything. That was it with them, y'all. And then we see later on Valentine goes to meet Victor at I think he gets a room at Metro Court, so they can talk in private, and that's it. Oh, please tell us what's going on because this has been dragging on forever. Anyways, let's move right along. So then we see, who do we see? So at the Quartermain household, Ned is talking to Olivia and she's really upset with him because I'm not gonna hold you long on this. She's upset with him because she was like, okay, I don't mind you not siding with the Quartermains, but think about what that does with us. He said, you Leo he said you, Leo, and Brooklyn are my family. Not, he was like the other Quartermains are cool, but y'all my immediate family, and I got to do what's best for us. He said now I'm chairman of the board and all that, and she was like, yeah, but you alienated them, and he was just like, I don't care about them. And she said, one day you might need them or whatever. And Ned is just like, he said, Michael and Drew wanted to put me out to pasture. They were not concerned about me. And she said, but you didn't think about the family. And I'm with Ned. Why do I always have to think about the family and what's better for the family when they weren't thinking about me? Like she said, all of the Quartermains decided to get Valentine out. You were the only one to break ranks. And he was like, they're going to see it was the right business decision. And Olivia said, well, at the end of the day, I don't even care about the company. Bye. She said, I don't even care about the company. I care about the fact that you didn't tell me. She said, after everything we've been through, I needed you to tell me. Oh my gosh. Mm, I'm sorry. I just realized I don't, okay. So she said she wanted him to tell her about the company. Now outside, Leo sees all this fussing and stuff, and Michael's like, but he hears Michael say that he has plans for Sonny, and he's like, what plans do you have? And he's like, oh, it's a surprise. He was like, what's going on with you? And he was like, my parents are fighting, and Michael tells him about the Quartermains will always get together. We're just born to fight, but we'll always love each other and all that. So he goes with Leo to cut apples for the horse. But then as he's doing that, Michael gets a call about Willow and he leaves. And I said, when he left, I said, you just gonna leave Leo out there? Well, baby, Leo came through and they said, Leo, what's wrong? And he said, I went to help with the apples and all that kind of stuff. Michael helped me. And then and then he left. And it left me by myself. And he said the whatever horse name needed a brush, so he tried and he fell. And Ned said we need to get another stable. Oh, that's what whatchamacallit could do. Cody get out there and work on the stables at Quartermains. He said we gotta hire a stable manager ASAP. And so they just Leo brings them together because he said I didn't want to bother y'all because you were mad at Dad, and they were like, what? No matter what's going on, we might get mad at each other or whatever, but we always love each other and all that. And so that was it with them, y'all. Sheesh. So then we see so we're okay. So we're at the club. We're at the club, right? Metro Court in the pool area. And Willow has just passed out, and she comes. And Liesel was there, so Liesel says, "Elevate her feet and do all this and that." And then Willow comes to herself, and she said, "Nina, bring her juice." So Nina goes and gets her juice, and she comes back. Sasha's trying to call an ambulance, and Lisa said, "Well, it looks like she doesn't need an ambulance. She just needs to go to the hospital just to get checked." Willow doesn't want to do it, and so Sonny is like, "Either you go get checked, or we call the ambulance to come get you." And she's like, "Okay." And so Sonny helps her or whatever. I'm not gonna hold you long on this. So Sonny helps her or whatever go, get into, takes her to the hospital. So when they go to the hospital, Sasha was the one that called Michael, the reason he ran off on Leo, and told him they were there because of they were taking Willow to the GH because she had fainted. So when they get there, Epiphany and TJ are there because he's giving her his books, because everyone is rooting for her. They want her to be a doctor, so he's giving her the books so that she can study and get all the information that she needs. Excuse me, y'all. So she can get all the information that she needs and everything. And so then we see that he get that Michael and Sonny, Willow, and Sasha come in, and they were like, "We need." Sasha was like, "We need some help," and Epiphany and TJ was like, "What's going on?" So he grabs a wheelchair, and Willow was like, "I don't need a wheelchair." And he was like, "Sit down in this chair, girl." So she goes with Epiphany and TJ, and they said she passed out or whatever, and Willow and Epiphany said again the last time was from not eating. She said, "No, I ate and everything." So they went into the hospital room, and Sasha is outside because she says, "Who's sister?" She said bad things happen here. Her baby died, Harmony died, and Sonny said, "You just need to focus on the positive, Sasha. You gotta let the past be the past and focus on the positive right now." And so then Michael shows up, and he don't even acknowledge Sonny. He just like, "What happened?" And Sasha tells him, Willow passed out and everything. And then Sonny just tells him Michael she walked in on her own free will, and he was like, "Did you have something to do with this? What did you do to say to upset her?" And then Michael was like, "You know what? I don't even have time." Like, yeah, get your ass on in the hospital room with Willow. Oh, I can't stand him. So he goes in the hospital room with Willow, and he's and they're running tests and talking to her and everything. And they had asked her before Michael goes in there, like, "Have you fainted between now and 3 months ago?" And she said no. "Any dizziness, nausea?" And she says, And they said, "Willow, are you gonna be a bad patient or a good nurse?" And she was like, "Yeah, like 4 times she's felt really dizzy and faint or whatever." So they run tests, and Epiphany fussing at her, and Michael comes in, and TJ says Miss Jackson, so they leave out or whatever so Michael can talk to her. And she tells Michael, she said, "Well, I think I lied to TJ." She said, "Because I honestly don't remember eat. I told him I ate, but I don't remember eating this morning." And Michael said, "That's not good. Like, you have to tell the truth so they can know what's wrong going on and what's wrong with you." And she said, "Well, all he's gonna say is get rest." So, anyways, she just says she's been so stressed out and this and that, and oh, it's over with. And so then Michael leaves out. I don't remember why. I don't remember why he left out, but he left out or whatever. And TJ comes in and he tells her, "I know why you fainting." She said, "It's a bad nose," and he said, "No, it's good. You're pregnant." So good news for Willow. And then Michael goes out, and Sonny and Sasha have been talking, and she tells him, "I know all this bad stuff has went on between you and Michael." Okay, Mama, between you and Michael and everything, but he knows that Willow was in good hands when she was with you. He was like, "Yeah, I mean, if family's family." And then she tells him about how he was there for Brando when they lost Liam and everything. And so, but Sonny decides he wants to go ahead and leave. She said, "You don't want another confrontation with Michael." And he was like, "It's just the best for him to go." And so he leaves. And so Michael comes out and he asks Sasha what happened. And she tells him Willow was there and she was upset about the quartermates and she just fainted. And she tells him, she was like, Sonny helped her. He caught her before she hit the ground and he made sure she came to the hospital and everything. So you might not want to hear it, but Sonny helped her and everything. And so Michael was just like, "Huh," or whatever. And so that's it with them, y'all. Am I done with this soap? Oh no, I'm not. Oh, dang. So then we see that Olivia, no, not Olivia. Then we see that Liesl and Nina, they stay behind, so they're drinking their drinks and lounging at the pool, and they talk about why you didn't accept Scott proposal. And Liesl said he proposed to me because he thought I was mad at him or whatever. She said, "I'm not going to accept that." She said, "I like being an independent woman. I don't want to be tied down to him or any man." And so Victor comes up and he hears all this or whatever, and he said. And so Nina gets up and leaves because at this point Sonny has come, and she said, "If you do anything," he said, "Nah, she's just gonna be as pristine as you left her." Because she was like, "If you do anything, my aunt Liesel," and but she likes Nina with Sonny. Well, she wants Nina to be happy. So if Sonny makes Nina happy, she's like, okay, go for it. So then Victor talks to Liesel, and he tells her, and he tells her, you don't want to be with Scott because he not on your level. I'm on your level, and that just lets me know I still have a chance with you. And she said, leave me alone before I put you off this roof or whatever. He was like, all right, but yeah, I know I still got a chance or whatever. And then he goes and meets with Valentine. I'm not gonna hold you long on that. So then we see Nina and Sonny, and they're talking about Willow, and she says, I really do hope she's okay. And she asked him about Michael, and he said, Michael is Michael or whatever. And she said, Michael should be thanking you. You helped Willow. And he said, I don't even want to talk about Michael. I want to talk about us. And he said, I don't really want to talk. Oh, Mama, calm down. She was like, I don't really want to talk. I really just want to do this. And so he started kissing her and all that. And that was General Hospital, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you tomorrow for another episode. I hope I didn't miss anything. If I did, I'm really sorry. Bye.